Hello guys, Solomon again for episode 5 of me interviewing myself, pre-season to the political podcast and YouTube channel, Free Speech with Solomon. So this poll that I postulated was, do you support the Second Amendment or the right to bear arms? And, it was kind of 70-30 yes, no. The people that said no were all self-identified Democrats. Except for like two, which was kind of interesting to me, a Republican that doesn't support guns. But I'll give you my take on it. My take is that it's no mystery and it's no surprise that there is an epidemic of gun violence in the United States. That's not even debatable. I mean, I was less than a mile away from the 2017 October 1 shooting that happened on the Las Vegas Strip that killed 58 people. I was less than a mile away. I could hear the gunshots, all right? There's been countless school shootings, synagogue shootings, mosque shootings, blah, 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 mall shootings, all that kind of stuff. There has been a epidemic of domestic terrorism involving guns here in the United States. And what that has done is that has sparked a huge debate on, gun control, on whether, we should even have guns and we should even be allowed to have guns. So 70% of my followers said yes. They support the Second Amendment. 30 said no. Me personally, I support the Second Amendment. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would rather be the one that has a gun than the one that doesn't have a gun. And what do I mean by that? Is that if there was a school shooting, or there's a shooting or something, and I was involved in, and I was a victim or something, God forbid, I would rather have the right to self-defend myself and carry a gun than be completely, gunless and, blah, I just, here's the thing. Sorry, there's a motorcycle outside that's been fucking distracting me. But, my thing is that I believe that people have the right to defend themselves. And I also think that having guns is kind of the last line of defense against, like, an oppressive government. But, there should probably be some restrictions. Like, I don't see any reason for someone to carry a AK-47 or an assault rifle or a machine gun or something like that. I don't really see any reason for that. It's excessive. It's really excessive. But with that being said, if we outlaw guns in the United States, then the criminals, the bad guys that do the shootings are going to get them anyway. You know what I'm saying? And the people are just going to be even more defenseless. In Texas, there was, a couple months ago, there was a shooting that happened at a church that was stopped because one of the churchgoers had a gun on him and stopped the shooter from doing any more collateral damage. And that's kind of an example to me that, like, you should have the right to have guns to self-defend yourself, because the criminals that are going to shoot up the schools and shoot up the churches and the synagogues and the mosques and the hospitals and the malls and all that kind of stuff, the bad guys are going to get their guns regardless of whether it's legal or not. Because think of it this way. The very thing that they're doing is illegal. So they would have no qualms, purchasing a gun illegally. It's much more dangerous, and the people are much more vulnerable if we do not have guns to protect ourselves. So those are my 2 cents on it. I personally don't own a firearm, but I still live with my parents, and we have a dog. I know it sounds dumb, but we have a big boy, we have a big dog, and that's actually pretty good defense against robbers and burglars and all that kind of stuff, is a dog. Because when you hear a scary dog bark, you're like, oh, not this house. But I personally don't have a gun. I plan on purchasing one when I move out and I have my own place, but it's not something that I'm going to go into the desert and, like, shoot. I'm just going to have it in terms of an emergency. And I feel like that should be okay, is that people should be able to have their guns in terms of an emergency, in case of an emergency. But like I said, the bad guys are going to get it either way, so outlawing it really is pointless because it just makes you more vulnerable. Those are my 2 cents. Comment what you think. you can subscribe and follow me on Instagram at @solojew_ if you haven't for more content. That's it for episode 5 of me interviewing myself, the prelude to the political podcast. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.